Your forecast first, sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Well, a snowy day for some of you out there, especially if you were closer to I-70 and south of Champaign is where we had the brunt of this snow, and the totals also showing that. Springfield, over 3 inches of snow. Mattoon, Neoga, and Chatham all at that 3-inch mark. We really had kind of Coles County there down into portions of Moultrie, Shelby County, seeing quite a bit of it. But the good news is the snow has come to an end. Now there is a little bit of wind out there. It's whipping around some of the snow, and you may see a few flurries here and there, but that big area that we had earlier has cleared. Now we've got to deal with the cold. It's 19, but because of the wind, it feels like 6 right now, and it's going to stay very cold for much of tomorrow. When we come back, more about the next round of snow for the weekend. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now on WCIA 3 News.
Today's a day to remember the Holocaust. Why some concerning stickers in one downtown have people saying to never forget. Plus, from dance to dinner, how one restaurant put a donation from a high school class to good use.
And high school sports are back. Which teams aren't wasting any time stepping on the court?
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 10.
11 million killed. Do you feel that number?
This Holocaust Remembrance Day, members of Champaign-Urbana's Jewish community are not only urging people to feel that number, but never forget it. Good evening. I'm Paul Cicchini.
And I'm Jessica Coons. 76 years ago today, the Auschwitz concentration camp was liberated by the Red Army. Hillel at U of I hosted a Holocaust Remembrance Day observance over Zoom. Central Illinois descendants of survivors shared their family stories. The goal was to show a living connection to the stories of the Holocaust. This comes as new surveys show nearly a quarter of young adults believe the Holocaust did not happen or was exaggerated despite its documentation. High school freshman Max Libman created 2 films about his great-grandmother's experience and is working to educate his generation about the atrocities of the Holocaust.
As we have seen, the Holocaust does not start with mass murder. It starts with name-calling, separating groups, and the rise in hate.
Libman says he feels a responsibility to share her story so history does not repeat itself. Meanwhile, some people are once again on edge after neo-Nazi stickers were found in downtown Champaign. WCIA 3's Jen Last joins us now. Jen, this is not the first time this has happened recently.
No, it's not, Jessica. And the discovery of hateful stickers and pamphlets, the use of Nazi imagery and rhetoric this past year, all drive home the importance of never forgetting the Holocaust.
White supremacy should not be an American thing. It's not an American value. It's not an American soul.
On a day meant to honor millions killed in the Holocaust, Hillel director Erez Cohen is also responding to the discovery of neo-Nazi stickers in Champaign. It underscores the urgency of the words "never again."
It's very difficult to see these stickers around town, but we must always remember that our community is a lot larger than the 1 or 2 people that are trying to spread hate around town.
Unfortunately, that's just they're persistent. So you just have to be persistent in fighting them.
Champaign County Mike Ingram says it's frustrating that hateful signs are becoming routine. Less than 2 weeks ago, people woke up in Champaign and Urbana to flyers saying, quote, "No white guilt."
You would think that we would be past that point. Unfortunately, human nature doesn't really allow it. We still have Holocaust deniers. That still is a subset of people that exist, which is ridiculous.
And just a few weeks ago, Congresswoman Mary Miller said this at a Moms for America rally in D.C.
Hitler was right on one thing. He said, whoever has the youth has the future.
She later apologized after swift condemnation from members of both parties.
I want to be frank and say that we invited several elected officials to join today's event. And part of it was as a result of the comment. It made us realize that we should be doing a better job reaching out to elected officials and sharing our history and our values with them.
Congresswoman Miller, Congressman Rodney Davis, and State Senator Scott Bennett were all signed on for today's observance. Cohen says he sees this as a step forward for people in our communities trying to understand each other a little bit better. Now, Jess, as for Ingram, he says if you see hateful signs and need help removing them, he wants people to reach out to him, and he'll go ahead and take care of that.
And hopefully no more are found.
Exactly.
All right, Jen, thank you.
In other news, one person is dead after their car crashed on I-57 near Neoga this afternoon. This is video from near where that wreck happened. State troopers say the driver lost control, hit a guardrail, and died at the scene. The interstate was shut down for about an hour and a half. And investigators say the suspects involved in stealing a truck from Moultrie County could be connected to several other crimes. A long string of car burglaries and thefts all happened that night. First, there were car burglaries in Macon County, and one of those was found in Lovington. Then cars were rummaged through in that village, and a truck was stolen from there. Police are also investigating a deadly shooting in Hammond that same night. They didn't say if the murder and thefts were connected, but they're looking into it as a possibility. And new tonight at 10, a court refused to throw out a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against the University of Illinois. Joseph Petrie was a professor at the school, but resigned after he was accused of sexually harassing a student. He sued the university for nearly $8 million after he says the university breached his resignation agreement by continuing to investigate the accusations. We have more on this story at WCIA.com.
Switching now to the latest on the coronavirus, the positivity rate in Illinois has been steadily dropping over the last few days. It's now at just over 5.5%. As for the number of new cases in Illinois, more than 3,700 were announced. Another 81 people have died. One hospital system is easing some visitor restrictions because of a decrease in COVID-19 hospitalizations. Officials at Carle say there will still be specified visiting hours, and you should check with your area hospital for their latest visitor policy. But some areas still won't allow visitors. That includes semi-private rooms, waiting rooms except for surgical services, and COVID-19 patients except for end-of-life circumstances.
Staff at Urbana schools can now get rapid COVID-19 tests. The district is part of a Free State pilot program. Any district employee can make an appointment for the drive-through site at Urbana High School. Certified school nurses will make sure things run smoothly. Testing for students will start the week of February 8th. That'll be through the U of I's SHIELD saliva testing program. In less than 2 months, school districts will begin taking the assessment for readiness standardized tests. They were waived last spring because of COVID, but that's not the plan so far this year. Schools need the tests to unlock Title I federal funding. Superintendent of Muhammad Seymour Schools is urging state and federal education leaders to think about offering a waiver again this spring.
We're trying to maximize the time that our kids are in front of teachers so that we can maximize learning. We've lost a lot of time. There is learning loss that we're seeing in our students.
She plans to contact representatives in Washington, D.C. and work with the teachers union to try to push back this standardized testing to a different semester.
It's no secret kids are creative. How one church helped ignite that spark in our bright spot.
Plus, one restaurant had plenty of food to give away today, while they had one high school class to thank for it.
And $1,000 is a lot for one kid to raise. How he decided to help others with it.